For 20,000 years, humanity had been silent. The galaxy had long written them off. Ancient records spoke of their brilliance, their rise among the stars, and their sudden disappearance. Entire civilizations believed humans were extinct. The stars themselves seemed emptier for it. And yet in the cold, black reaches of space, something impossible stirred. On the edge of the Orion sector, a small observation station floated silently. Its sensors, capable of detecting even the faintest energy bursts, had been idle for weeks. Lieutenant Rhea Soren tapped the console with impatience, her blue eyes scanning the endless map of stars. Life had become predictable in this corner of the galaxy, until now. A sudden flicker on the monitor froze her heart. A signal. It wasn't weak, like the distant background chatter of unknown systems. It was strong, deliberate, ancient, and it carried a signature that no living race had been able to reproduce for thousands of years. "Commander," Rhea whispered, her voice trembling. "You need to see this." Her superior, Commander Kale, approached, his normally calm face tightening with concern. He stared at the screen. Numbers and waves danced across it, repeating in a pattern that made no immediate sense. And then he saw it, a name embedded in the code. HSS Revenant. Revenant. Kale's voice was a growl. That ship, it was destroyed 20,000 years ago. "Yes," Rhea said, unable to hide her shock. "But it's sending a signal, and it's active." The observation station erupted into controlled chaos. Scientists, engineers, and navigators crowded around consoles, their faces pale. Ancient human vessels were more myth than memory. The idea that one might still exist was almost unthinkable. Yet here it was, reaching out across the void. "Send a message," Kale ordered. "Identify the source location, everything we can get." The station's AI, a calm voice amidst the rising panic, replied, "Signal origin identified. Sector V, 231. Coordinates outside known human exploration limits." Rhea felt her stomach tighten. That sector was dangerous, almost forbidden. The last ship sent there had never returned. And yet, the signal beckoned, pulling like a thread through the galaxy. "Prepare a scout team," Kale said. "I want eyes on that ship. Now!" Meanwhile, across the vast emptiness, the HSS Revenant drifted silently. Its hull, scarred and battered, reflected the faint glow of distant stars. No lights blinked from its deck. No engines hummed. It was as if the ship itself had chosen to sleep, waiting for this exact moment, for someone to notice. Inside the observation station, speculation ran wild. Could humans have survived? Could this be some kind of trap? Or was it simply a remnant, a ghost of their former glory, reaching across time? The crew debated feverishly. But one fact remained undeniable. The galaxy had never expected this. Every record, every star map, every story pointed to one conclusion. Humanity was gone. And yet, here it was, speaking again. Hours passed, and the signal continued, repeating a haunting pattern that none could decipher. And then, suddenly, a single phrase emerged from the static, clear and deliberate. "Do not come closer." The room fell silent. Every eye turned toward the console, fear and awe mixing in equal measure. No one had expected communication, let alone a warning. The name Revenant flashed on the screen again, as if the ship itself had made its presence known. Rhea felt a shiver crawl down her spine. She looked at Kale. "Commander, what do we do?" Kale ran a hand over his face. We observe. For now, we do not approach. Not until we understand what we're dealing with." But deep down, he knew that caution might be impossible. The human signal was a siren across the stars. It demanded attention, curiosity, stubbornness, and the deep, unexplainable instinct that humans had left behind in their wake. All these would push them forward. And so the galaxy paused. For the first time in 20,000 years, the silence of humanity was broken, and with it, a question that had haunted civilizations for centuries returned. What happened to the humans? And why are they reaching out now? In the cold, black reaches of space, the HSS Revenant waited. Its secrets were ancient. Its warnings were real. And somewhere deep inside, the echoes of humanity's long-forgotten voice stirred once more. The first step into the unknown had been taken, and the universe would never be the same again. The galaxy held its breath. Word of the human signal spread fast among the nearby systems. The observation station, still trembling from the revelation, prepared a small scout fleet. Drones were launched first, silent and tiny, slipping to the void like shadows. Every screen flickered with the same impossible image, the HSS Revenant. From a distance, the ship seemed almost unreal. Its massive hull floated like a dark relic, scarred from battles no one alive had seen. Broken sections jutted out like jagged teeth, and strange, glowing patterns ran along its sides. The name Revenant glimmered faintly on the hull, as if carved in light rather than metal. Lieutenant Rhea Soren leaned over the console, her hands gripping the edge. It's enormous and silent. Why is it still moving? Or is it... Commander Kale didn't answer immediately. His eyes stayed glued to the main monitor. It's not moving like a normal ship, he muttered. It drifts, but it almost seems alive. The scout drone sent back images that made every crew member gasp. Inside the ship, corridors stretched endlessly, twisting in strange patterns that defied simple geometry. Shadows moved across walls, though no living being could be seen. Occasionally, faint lights flickered, then vanished. One of the drones, equipped with scanners, tried to penetrate the hull. The readings were bizarre. Energy signatures from the ship didn't match any known human technology, not even the most advanced experimental designs. The systems were ancient, yes, but also far beyond anything the galaxy had seen before. Impossible, a technician whispered. This ship is more advanced than anything we have. The Revenant had remained silent for 20,000 years, and now it seemed it was waking. Then, unexpectedly, the ship reacted. A massive panel on its side slid open, revealing a dimly lit docking bay. A pulse of energy rippled outward, scanning the approaching drones. The drones wobbled, then fell silent. The first human-made probes of millennia were already being tested, and the ship seemed to be judging. Rhea's voice shook as she spoke in the calm. Commander, it's almost like it's alive, like it knows we're here. Kale didn't respond. He only watched, silently calculating the risks. The entire station was on edge. The signal had warned them not to come closer, but curiosity, and perhaps human instinct embedded deep in every explorer's heart, pushed them forward. Suddenly, the ghost ship emitted a sound, low, vibrating, almost musical. It traveled through the emptiness of space and waves, brushing against the hull of the station and drones. The sound was ancient, human, yet alien at the same time. No one spoke. The echoes of the noise lingered in their minds. And then, a message appeared on every console, perfectly clear. Do not come closer. You are not ready. No one had expected that. The text was simple, yet heavy, as if every letter carried the weight of centuries. It was a warning, a challenge, a mystery. Rhea swallowed hard. This is impossible, she said. Humans, they shouldn't even exist. And yet, this ship, it's alive. It's trying to speak to us. The Revenant's lights pulsed again, rhythmic now, almost like a heartbeat. It beckoned them, daring them to approach. Every instinct screamed caution. Yet every curiosity in the human or alien mind wanted to uncover its secrets. The fleet held position. Observers recorded every moment, every flicker of light, every vibration in space. And somewhere deep inside the ship, it waited, patient, calculating, silent, yet fully aware. Then, a final warning resonated through the communication channels. Turn back, or face what you cannot comprehend. No one moved. No one spoke. The galaxy had long forgotten humans, but now, for the first time in 20,000 years, they were forced to remember. The HSS Revenant drifted closer to the station, almost imperceptibly. Its hull reflected the light of distant stars like polished glass. But underneath, the scars of ancient battles whispered stories no one could yet understand. And in that silence, a single thought emerged in every mind watching it. If this ship is real, if humans still exist in some form, what else have they been hiding? The ghost ship, ancient and mysterious, waited, and the universe, for all its knowledge and power, realized that the story of humanity was far from over. The airlock hissed as it opened. A small boarding team floated into the HSS Revenant, their magnetic boots clicking against the cold metal floor. Silence greeted them, absolute, almost oppressive. No hum of engines, no life signs, nothing. Just the endless dark corridors stretching ahead. Lieutenant Rhea Soren led the team, her flashlight cutting through the shadows. Each step echoed an empty ship, though no one else seemed to be there. "Keep your scanners on," she warned. "Something about this place. It doesn't feel dead." Commander Kale followed closely, eyes scanning every wall and corner. "Look at this architecture," he said. "It's human, but not like anything we've seen. The design, it's organic, almost alive, like the ship itself is thinking." The team moved deeper. Strange symbols lined the walls, glowing faintly in pulsing patterns. Some resembled human writing, though centuries old. Others were unfamiliar, almost alien. The scanners detected energy, but it wasn't machinery. It was something else, something alive. And then they found the corridors that should have held crew quarters. Empty, no bodies, no signs of struggle, only armored suits, floating as if worn by invisible figures. Their helmets reflected the dim light, staring blankly like hollow eyes. A scientist on the team, Dr. Lyra Venn, gasped. "It's as if the crew disappeared. But they didn't die. They just left." The team approached the main bridge. It was intact, though shattered in parts, and covered in dust from centuries. Consoles flickered weakly with old power, displaying fragments of data logs. Kale activated one. The screen lit up, showing words typed centuries ago. "We chose silence to survive." The team froze. Silence to survive? What had humans been hiding? Dr. Venn scrolled through more logs. "They were fighting something," she said, voice trembling. "Something huge." They left warnings, coordinates, codes, and then nothing. All activity stops, except some notes here. She pointed to a glowing message. "The Void Devourers will not rest. Silence is our shield. If the ship drifts into the wrong hands, it will destroy everything." Rhea swallowed. "Void Devourers? What are they?" Before anyone could answer, a shiver ran through the ship. The walls seemed to pulse. The lights flickered, shadows stretching like fingers across the corridors. Something moved, but not like a human. Something fast. Something intelligent. "Did you see that?" whispered one of the engineers, voice shaky. Kale drew his weapon. "Stay calm. Keep scanning." The scanners picked up a movement inside the walls themselves. Energy readings spiked, then dropped. The ship, it was alive. Not just mechanically, but intentionally. It was guarding its secrets. And then the ship's AI spoke. A voice calm, cold, yet undeniably human. "You are not ready." The boarding team froze. Every instinct screamed danger. But curiosity, that ancient spark of humanity, pushed them forward. They were explorers. They were witnesses. They could not turn back. Rhea's voice trembled as she whispered, "What did they mean? Not ready? Ready for what?" The bridge console flickered again, revealing a map of distant stars. Planets humans had once colonized. Systems humans had left empty. And in the center, glowing red, a single word appeared. Warning. Something had hunted humanity. Something so powerful, they had to erase themselves from history to survive. And this ship, the Revenant, was their last message, their final warning to anyone who dared discover them. The air seemed colder now. Shadows stretched longer. And from somewhere deep in the ship, a whisper echoed. "Do not follow us, or you will be erased too." No one knew if it was a ship, the AI, or something far older. But one thing was clear. The HSS Revenant was not a ghost ship. It was a sentinel, a guardian of secrets that the galaxy was never meant to uncover. And yet, they could not leave, because curiosity, once sparked, could not be silenced. The boarding team floated deeper into the Revenant, every step measured, every breath tense. The ship seemed to hum with a quiet energy, almost as if it remembered its past. Data logs flicker across consoles, revealing fragments of history long forgotten. Dr. Lyra Venn scrolled through the oldest entries. Her hand shook. "Commander, you need to see this. It's why humans disappeared." Kale leaned over. The screen displayed ancient warnings, coordinates, and battle logs. The words were simple, but their meaning was terrifying. The Void Devourers will not stop. They consume worlds, civilizations, stars. If humanity does not hide, we are finished. Rhea's eyes widened. Void Devourers, were they? Dr. Venn shook her head. Not even the oldest records describe them accurately. They aren't just enemies, they're predators of the galaxy. They erase everything. Every star they touch dies. Every species they consume, gone without trace. The team fell silent. They had faced danger before. Pirates, rogue AI, cosmic storms. But this was different. This was annihilation on a scale they couldn't comprehend. The logs continued. Humans had fought, yes, but losing battle after battle forced them to make a choice. Humanity had used its greatest weapon, not technology, not armies, but self-erasure. They erased themselves? Rio whispered. Dr. Venn nodded. Not completely. They evolved beyond physical form, leaving behind only ships like the Revenant and warnings. They hid, scattered across dimensions. They became untouchable, unseen. Silent guardians. Kale ran a hand through his hair. They didn't just disappear. They sacrificed everything to protect the galaxy. But why the warning? Why now? Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed and a soft vibration ran through the floors. Something ancient stirred. The AI spoke again, calm yet terrifying. The Void Devourers have awakened. The warning was never enough. You are not ready, but the choice has been made. Rhea felt a chill crawl down her spine. Awakened? After 20,000 years. Yes, Kale said quietly. And if the logs are correct, the galaxy has no idea they're coming back. Entire systems could be destroyed before anyone even knows they exist. A screen flickered to life, showing the Devourers. Not creatures in the usual sense, but vast, shadowy entities, shifting forms that devoured light and matter alike. Stars blinked out around them. The images were brief, shaky transmissions left by human scouts millennia ago, but enough to terrify the team. They are unstoppable, whispered an engineer. Dr. Venn shook her head. Humans never fought them directly. They never could. Every encounter ended with worlds destroyed. The only way to survive was to hide, evolve, and prepare. Kale's eyes narrowed. So the Revenant, it's more than a ship. It's a warning, a key, humanity's message to anyone who might face them in the future. Rhea swallowed hard, and we're the first ones to find it in 20,000 years. Are we ready? The ship pulsed again, lights flickering in a rhythm like a heartbeat. From deep inside, the hum of ancient power reverberated. The Void Devourers were coming, and the humans' long silence had been their shield. One last log appeared, almost pleading. If you cannot fight them, learn from us. Protect what remains. Silence is safety. But if you fail, the galaxy will burn. The boarding team exchanged glances. Fear, awe, and the weight of centuries pressed down on them. Humanity's sacrifice had been unimaginable. And now, the responsibility was theirs, whether they were ready or not. From the shadows of the Revenant, a strange energy flickered along the walls. Something ancient and alive moved just out of sight. It was a reminder that the humans who built this ship were not entirely gone. Their presence lingered, waiting, watching. And in that moment, the team realized the true enemy had been revealed. The Void Devourers were real, terrifying, and the galaxy had never faced anything like them. The Revenant drifted silently, a ghostly guardian in the void, holding secrets, warnings, and the last memory of humanity's fight. And somewhere, deep inside, the echo of humans' choice whispered, "We survived by hiding, but now the test begins again." The boarding team floated in stunned silence. The Revenant's corridors pulsed with energy, the hum vibrating through their bones. They had uncovered the history of humanity, vanished, hidden, yet prepared. But nothing could have prepared them for what came next. A console flickered. The ship's AI spoke, calm, deliberate, and strangely familiar. Observation complete. Initiate revelation sequence. Suddenly, the ship shifted. Walls shimmered, as if folding space itself. The empty corridors stretched and twisted in impossible ways, revealing chambers that had been hidden for millennia. In the largest chamber, a strange light gathered, swirling like a miniature galaxy suspended in air. Rhea stepped closer, heart pounding. "What is that?" Kale's voice was low. "It's alive. Or maybe them." The swirling light coalesced. Slowly, human forms appeared, tall, luminous, and almost transparent. They were not flesh and blood as the galaxy knew, but beings of pure energy, their shapes glowing with soft, golden light. They moved with grace, scanning the boarding team with eyes that seemed to look into their very minds. "Humans," Dr. Lyra whispered, all breaking her voice. "They didn't die. They evolved." One of the luminous figures stepped forward. Its voice, though echoing the mind rather than ears, carried authority and warmth. "For 20,000 years, we observed. We hid. We became something new, beyond the limits of flesh and metal. We waited for the right time." Rhea took a cautious step forward. "The Void Devourers, they're coming. Can you fight them?" The human form's glow intensified. "We never needed to fight directly. Our presence alone shifts reality, dismantles threats, protects those we choose. The Revenant was a key, a bridge between our past and the galaxy's future. And now the key is unlocked." Energy pulsed from the room, rippling through the ship, the scout fleet outside, even across light years. Drones and systems hummed with new life, reading patterns no one could comprehend. Humanity's technology, combined with their evolved form, was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Kale's hand tightened around the console. "So, they've been waiting for someone to find them to help?" The figure nodded, almost imperceptibly. "We did not choose to intervene lightly. But now the Devourers awaken. We cannot remain hidden any longer. Those who are capable must witness, must prepare." Rhea swallowed. "And us? What role do we play?" "You are witnesses," the figure said. "You will carry knowledge. You will alert the galaxy. You will survive. And when the time comes, you will see what it means to face the Devourers with humanity's true power at your side." The light began to spread, filling the chamber, streaming through the ship, through space itself. The boarding team felt their very thoughts shift, as if new understanding was flowing into them. They glimpsed visions, stars being consumed and restored, civilizations erased and saved, the silent guardians of humanity moving through the galaxy, unseen yet unstoppable. Rhea whispered, almost to herself, "They're gods, but human gods." "Yes," the figure responded. "We never sought worship, only survival, only protection. And now, the galaxy must awaken to its greatest ally, silent for 20,000 years, yet eternal." The crew felt a surge of awe and fear. This was not the humans they had read about in history books. This was a species reborn, evolved beyond warships, beyond weapons, beyond death itself. And yet, they had chosen to protect, to guide, and to wait for the universe to be ready. The Revenant pulsed one last time, a heartbeat echoing across the stars. Its lights, once dim and haunting, now shone with clarity, revealing the ship's full form to the scouts outside. Not a derelict, but a living testament to humanity's endurance. And as the glow spread into space, the final warning became clear. We will return. The Devourers will come. And when they do, humanity's true power will be revealed. The boarding team floated in silence, the enormity of what they had witnessed sinking in. 20,000 years of mystery, sacrifice, and evolution, all leading to this moment. And in the distance, through the dark void, something began to stir. The Void Devourers were awakening. But this time, humanity would not be silent. The galaxy trembled. Across light years, stars flickered as if sensing an ancient power awakening. The Revenant pulsed with energy, and the boarding team watched in awe as the luminous humans, the silent guardians, prepare to emerge in their long-hidden refuge. Outside the ship, the void devourers moved. Shadows against stars, consuming light, erasing matter, leaving nothing but darkness in their path. Entire systems blinked out in silence, and alien fleets scrambled in confusion, powerless against the approaching horror. Inside the Revenant, the Guardians' energy intensified. Their forms stretched and flowed, adapting to the space around them. They no longer walked. They floated, moved, and bent reality itself with a thought. Commander Kale gripped his console. Rhea, they're not just alive. They're weapons beyond anything we imagined. Rhea nodded, unable to take her eyes off the shimmering figures. They're protecting everything we know, everything in the galaxy. They've been waiting for this. A Guardian's voice resonated in the minds of everyone aboard. We are humanity, silent, hidden, watching. But the time has come. The Devourers awaken. We act. Outside, energy ripples emanated from the Revenant. Light stretched like rivers through space, forming barriers, shields, and corridors of power. Alien fleets who had watched in terror now felt hope. The humans' presence was overwhelming, but it was also protective. The Void Devourers struck first, surging toward nearby star systems. Their shadows lashed out, consuming planets and ships in seconds. But the Guardians did not engage directly. Instead, their presence alone distorted the Devourers' energy, slowing them, fragmenting them, making the impossible possible. One Devourer lunged at the Revenant. Its shadowy tendrils stretched toward the hull, aiming to consume the ancient ship. The Guardians pulsed with light, and the tendrils dissolved like mist in sunlight. Space itself seemed to resist the Devourers where the Guardians were present. Rhea and Kale floated in stunned silence. They don't fight like anyone else, Kale muttered. They erase the enemy without touching them. We do not fight to kill, the Guardian said. We fight to protect. Every action we take preserves life. Every enemy we stop is erased, not as vengeance, but as balance. Across the galaxy, alien civilizations watched in awe. Ships that had long feared the humans now understood why they had vanished. Humanity had not fled. They had evolved. They had become something beyond ordinary warfare, something that could bend reality itself to protect the innocent. And yet, the battle was only beginning. The Void Devourers were relentless. More emerged from the shadows, larger, darker, hungrier. They were the true cosmic predators, and even the Guardians could not ignore the scale of the threat. The Guardians' light intensified. Space around them warped, creating ripples that disoriented the Devourers. Systems that had already been attacked began to recover, as if time itself were bending. Ships destroyed by the Devourers reappeared briefly in strange, shimmering echoes. Rhea whispered, almost to herself, This is humanity's true power. One Guardian floated close, energy radiating outward like the sun. We will not allow the Devourers to erase the galaxy. We protect, we endure. But the test has begun. Watch closely, for all who witnessed this are now part of our story. And then, with a pulse that rippled across space, the Guardians moved forward, not as ships, not as armies, but as forces of nature, bending the universe to their will. Shadows dissolved. Stars shone again. The first confrontation with the Void Devourers had begun, and the galaxy had never seen power like this. For 20,000 years, humanity had been silent. Now, the Silent Guardians had returned, and nothing in the universe would ever forget them. The galaxy trembled under a darkness it had never known. The Void Devourers surged through star systems, consuming everything in their path. Entire fleets of alien ships fought bravely, but they were powerless against the cosmic predators. Then, from the heart of the void, the Silent Guardians emerged. Humanity's evolved forms, luminous and radiant, stretched across light years like living constellations. Their presence alone reshaped space, bending energy, matter, and time itself. Rhea and Kale watched from the Revenant as the Guardians began their advance. It's unbelievable, Rhea whispered. They don't just fight, they rewrite reality. The Void Devourers lunged at a nearby system. Stars began to dim as their shadows reached out. The Guardians responded immediately. Light cascaded across space in waves, dissolving shadows, restoring suns and shielding planets. Every attack by the Devourers was met not with brute force, but with precise control. One Guardian moved toward the largest Devourer. Its body radiated golden energy, stretching tendrils of light to touch the shadowy enemy. The Devourer writhed, thrashing against the power, and then, without a sound, it disintegrated, erased from existence, leaving no trace. Kale could barely comprehend it. They're not killing, they're unmaking the enemy. Purely, completely, cleanly, the battle escalated. Thousands of Devourers emerged from the darkness, their shadows blotting out stars. Yet, no matter how many came, the Guardians were always one step ahead. Light streamed across the void, piercing darkness, reversing destruction and preserving life. Rhea's voice shook with awe. It's human ingenuity, multiplied beyond imagination. They survived and became something no one else could be. The silent Guardians moved with perfect coordination. They did not fight for glory, for power, or for revenge. Every move was calculated. Every action designed to protect the galaxy. Planets that had been erased reappeared in shimmering echoes. Entire alien civilizations saved from annihilation. The Devourers, vast and relentless, attempted to regroup. Shadows twisted, attacking multiple fronts at once. But the Guardians flowed like a single organism, moving with precision and grace. Their power was absolute, unstoppable, yet controlled. One Guardian addressed the galaxy, its voice calm yet resonant. We are humanity, silent for 20,000 years, watching, waiting, evolving. We are your shield, your protectors, your enduring allies. Witness this and know that no darkness can overcome what survives. The final confrontation approached. The largest Devourer, a shadow bigger than a star, surged toward the Revenant. The Guardians converged, their light merging into a radiant sphere of pure energy. Time seemed to slow as the Devourer collided with the Guardian's power. A wave of light exploded across space. Shadows dissolved. Stars blinked back into existence. The galaxy held its breath as the Devourer's form was unmade, erased without a trace. Silence followed. A silence unlike any before. The void Devourers were gone. For the first time in eons, the galaxy was safe. The Guardians slowly withdrew, their forms shimmering, fading into void from which they had emerged. The Revenant floated silently, a testament to humanity's endurance, sacrifice, and ultimate power. Rhea whispered, tears in her eyes. They saved everything. Humanity, they were never gone. Kale nodded. They didn't just survive, they transcended. And they reminded the galaxy what it means to be human. Across the stars, alien civilizations watched in awe, knowing that the legends they had doubted for millennia were real. Humanity had returned, silent no more. And the galaxy, scarred yet alive, would never forget the day the silent Guardians fought the darkness and won. The galaxy was quiet again. But this time, it was not the silence of fear. It was a silence of survival. Stars shone where darkness had once consumed everything. Worlds that had almost vanished now burned bright with life. Fleets slowly regrouped, drifting through space in disbelief. The void Devourers were gone, completely erased. And the silent Guardians, humanity, were fading. From the bridge of the HSS Revenant, Lieutenant Rhea Soren watched the light recede. The glowing human form slowly dissolved into the fabric of space, becoming part of the universe itself. No explosions, no dramatic exit, just calm, controlled disappearance. They're leaving, Rhea whispered. Commander Kale nodded, his voice heavy. They never wanted to stay. Across the galaxy, a final transmission activated. It reached every station, every ship, every world, translated perfectly into every known language. The voice was human, calm, warm, ancient, to the galaxy we once walked beside. The message continued. For 20,000 years, we remained silent, not out of fear, but out of duty. We chose survival over pride. We chose patience over power. Images appeared with the message. Ancient humans exploring stars, building cities, laughing, then hiding, then evolving. We became guardians, not rulers, protectors, not conquerors. The darkness you faced was not new to us. We prepared for it, so you would not have to. Rhea felt her chest tighten. The humans had given up everything. Home, bodies, history, to protect others who never even knew. Now the threat is gone. The galaxy is safe again. And our watch ends. A pause followed, long enough to feel personal. Remember this truth. Silence is not weakness. Sometimes the strongest ones are those who wait. The transmission ended. No farewell. No request for gratitude. Just truth. The HSS Revenant began to change. Its ancient lights dimmed. Its structure shimmered, slowly breaking apart into streams of harmless energy. The legendary ghost ship, the last physical reminder of humanity's past, was finally letting go. Rhea stood in silence as the ship vanished completely. They trusted us, she said softly, with their story. Kale nodded. And now it's our responsibility. Across the galaxy, monuments were built, not to power, but to sacrifice. Schools taught the story of the Silent Guardians. Children learned that humanity had not disappeared. They had protected everyone quietly. Humanity became legend, not as destroyers, not as conquerors, but as saviors who never asked to be seen. Far beyond known space, where no sensors could reach, faint echoes of light moved peacefully. Humanity still existed, watching, listening, resting, no longer hiding, no longer needed. And the universe remembered. When humanity went silent, the universe survived.